It is Thursday, August the 14th, and just when you think we're going to certainly see interest rates lowered, we get news like we did this morning.
No, the Fed is going to be determined to get the data right. I read an interesting article about a concern of several presidents about stagflation, and they don't want stagflation to occur because of all the bad voodoo stuff that could happen that they got to deal with. Stagflation is a bad
So stagflation is the worst of all, and meaning nothing really happens in the economy.
Right.
It doesn't move forward. It doesn't move back. And what creates even longer stagflation is the consumer waits and waits and waits for a better deal.
And what you referred to was the core inflation numbers.
It was at the CPI wholesale numbers.
Right.
They came in this morning hotter than anticipated. A lot of talk over the last 2 days, starting Wednesday, with the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and that needed to have rates lowered at least 150 basis points to 175 basis points. And then we get this data today. So just cross currents, and we're seeing lots of it. Not at all shocking to us because this typically does happen when you got so much data and so many opinions. But I think it just means we're going to have a summer of uncertainty.
Uncertainty creates volatility. I read an interesting article this week that just said, ask the question, is there a bubble or a drawback going to happen because of the over exuberance in the marketplace? And it laid out why that article was suggesting it. You can find the other articles that say, no, we're okay. It's going to be a long run. It would not be surprising to see sometime in September or October a resetting. What's a resetting? A pullback of 5%. And remember, in 5%. Remember, in April of this year, we had a 16%. And remember, and we're higher than where we are. Right. So some pullback would not be surprising. We have been asked, do we still believe the economy is going to be strong and the economy's up? I saw a report, believe it or not, that began to talk about is 7,000 possible for the S&P by the end of this year.
I saw the same articles.
And we remember in April this year, the article said is 6,500, 6,600 possible.
So another 10% in the markets.
Right.
And a lot of people are expecting it. So would be very surprised if we didn't see a pullback, but I think that creates opportunities.
Yeah. Now, everybody's risk is different. We customize where you are, but let me tell you the highway that we're on and we're still staying on, the highway of equity and equity weighting. We're comfortable. For those that are comfortable, we'd like you at least to be 40 to 45% at a minimum on that side of the road. On this side of the road, 70 to 75 on the high side. The majority of all our clients are in the 50 to 60% range going down the highway, but that's where we are. If we're meeting with you and you're in the 40s, we're going to encourage you to go maybe a little bit more to the middle. If you're over here on the other side and you're in the speed line, we're just going to speed limit. We're going to remind you of the volatility and just be sure you're comfortable. But even with all the volatility, all the noise that's going on, that's where we are at this point in time.
That's it.
All right, folks. If you have any questions, please give us a call. We got a lot of great things, exciting things going on here at HMC, and you're part of it. We do this each and every week because we know it is your money.
And your money matters. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.